Hey, Jerry Fetta here. I want to share with you the number one mistake I think you're making with your finances. Stay tuned for today's money clip as I cover that. Hey, what's going on? Jerry Fetta here. So I mentioned that in today's money clip this week, I want to talk to you about the number one mistake I think you're making with your finances right now. Okay. Now, you might listen to that and you'll be like, Jerry, that sounds judgmental. But I want you to hear me out because I'm coming from a place of help here. Okay, so let's take a look at the statistics, right? Right now with the average American, right? The average family, the average American family right now, they're paycheck to paycheck, right? They're not saving very much money, like it's one paycheck to the next. If they've got some money, it's maybe a few $100 or $1,000 at most, but it's not enough to really do a whole lot in their day-to-day lives, right? Now, their number one asset typically is their home. Right? We've done videos on homes before. They're not really the wealth building tool they're cracked up to be, right? They've got car debt, they've got credit card debt, they've got student loan debt. Most of their liquidity type assets, things they could and should be able to sell or generate income with, are in retirement plans they can't touch till they're 60. And they have zero passive income, right? And it seems like for the average American family, and tell me if this is incorrect, but my experience of it and my understanding and observation of it is the average American family lives problem to problem, right? This problem, we solve it, immediately there's the next one. That one's done, we solve it, now there's another one, right? And you're running 100 miles an hour with your face down this close to the ground, and we don't look up anymore. We don't plan, we don't think ahead. We just, problems, present and past. But the place that we don't tend to go to is the future, right? Now, when it comes to finances and wealth, the future is extremely important. The future is the most important thing. And you're going to hear me addressing this and see me addressing this more and more and more in my content because I believe this is where it all starts, right? Think about when was the last time you had like a goal or a dream for your life? Something you were excited about where you're like, man, this is what all this is for. This is what I'm working towards, right? This is what it's going to look like, right? And no, the future is not when you pay off your house. That's not a goal. The future goal is not when you can retire and quit everything. That's also not a goal. The future is not when your kid gets graduated out of school. That's not your goal. That's their goal. You're going to have a future beyond all of those things. Look what just arrived. I just got my copy of the Blueprint to Financial Freedom. Hey, enjoy the rest of the content. I don't want to interrupt you too long, but if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo or click the link in the description, you can get your copy now. So what are you going to do with your future? Let's say we take retirement as an example, okay? So here's the thing. A goal has to come from the goal maker, right? I need to actually create my goal and think about what is my goal. If you've ever given a goal to somebody before that they weren't really into, it wasn't their idea, it wasn't their decision, what you're going to notice with that person is they don't really have passion. It doesn't really matter. They don't really give it their all. They're not really trying that hard. Why? Because it's not really their goal. They're just doing what someone else told them to do kind of half-heartedly, right? So who came up with the goal of retirement? Was that really you? Or was that Wall Street, right? And when you look at the statistics, a recent survey I talked about in another video said that 7 out of 10 Americans say that they don't think it's real to retire at age 65, right? The Social Security Administration themselves is saying 95% of Americans aren't going to be financially secure at age 65. Only 5% will, right? So if this was someone's goal, and they really came up with it on their own, why is the failure rate so high? And I would say because it's not truly their goal, right? So I want to whiteboard this out really quick with you guys. Here's what this looks like, right? So everything in life, especially finances, starts with your goal, right? If you don't have a goal, good luck, right? You're going to have a very hard time accomplishing anything. You're literally going to get just pulled problem to problem in your life. You're going to be like a leaf blown around in the backyard. So the goal is where it starts, right? From here, all of your plans are going to be made. with the idea of getting closer to your goal, right? Now, for most people, their goal, I believe, should be something that improves their own personal quality of life, the quality of life of their loved ones, and the quality of life of the world around them, right? Now, retirement doesn't do that, right? Now, underneath of plans, you then have, okay, well, I've got this plan. Let's take the retirement one. So one of my goals is to retire, and I have a plan on getting there. And part of that plan is I need to put my money in the 401k plan. And I need to put, a certain amount of money to pay off my house on time. And I need to make sure the car is paid off and I'm debt free so that when I retire and I finally quit this life I'm doing, right, I don't have any problems or worries. Right? Well, I have bad news. You still will have problems and worries. Those don't go away just because you decided, I'm done working. Right? Think about it. How many of your problems and worries are actually related to your job? My observation is most of them are related to your at-home life, your spouse, your kids, your animals, your car, your friends, the economy, the politicians. Very few problems people have are actually work-related problems. Right? Now, here's the other thing. Problems are created by individuals because individuals want problems because they're not playing big enough games in their life. So if you're literally quitting, you're saying, I'm going to retire and stop the biggest game I play, which is work. The biggest game you play in your life, the most important game you play in your life is work. It's 70% of your time. Production, being valuable to other people, that's the most important thing you do. So if that was your one big game and you quit that game, so that you can retire, which at the root of that word retire means retreat, you are going to pull in more problems. Why? Because you reduced the amount of games you're playing. Life is less interesting. You don't have as much to do. You're not busy anymore. You become that person that stays at home staring out your window waiting for other people to break the law so you can call the homeowners association on them. I'm talking to you, Karen. Right? Why? Because you don't have big enough games. You need a bigger game to play, right? And that bigger game can't be associated with retirement unless your game is, I'm leaving my job to go do something that's even bigger than what my job was, right? Very few retirees are doing that. They're like, I'm leaving my job to stay home every day and to travel and see the grandkids and this and that. Those aren't interesting games. They're not going to keep you busy for 30 years, right? So you need to have good goals. Now, here's the thing. I think when you change the goal is no longer retirement. Your plan changes. How you go about accomplishing that goal changes. When you change your plan and you change your goal, you also change your problem. Right? Let's take paycheck to paycheck, for example. Family is living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck. That's actually a problem, right? Why are they having that problem? Because their goal is not big enough. Their goal is not big enough for them to feel the need to go earn more income. They're very comfortable living paycheck to paycheck. They'll complain about it. They'll whine about it. They'll moan, oh, I can't afford this. I can't afford that. Sometimes I get confused on whether they're bragging or complaining. But the problem is related to the goal. If you increase the goal and you say, okay, the goal is now to become wealthy, to have passive income that exceeds my giving, expenses, taxes, and savings in 10 years or less, right? Now all of a sudden the goal is bigger. My problem is also bigger. You see what I mean? It's no longer paycheck to paycheck is the problem. The problem is, all right, I need to figure out how to invest now. I need to figure out where do I put my money? How do I increase my income? I start solving those problems instead, right? Any problem, and I'm going to end on this note, any problem that you've had in your life that you've not solved for a prolonged period of time is no longer your problem, it's your pet. It's there because you want it there. It's there because you like it. It's there because you wouldn't know what to do if you didn't have it anymore. The way to get rid of those, if you truly want to become wealthy, and I'm not just talking financially wealthy here, I'm talking about wealthy, like all aspects of your life. If you really want to become wealthy, it's to increase the size of your goals. And you're going to ask me, Jerry, well, how big should I make them? That's something you've got to answer for yourself, but I believe you should make it big enough that you don't know how you're going to do it. That should be your first problem, right? Why is this? Because life can't be about avoiding problems, right? If it's about avoiding problems, then it's like, okay, you're just not a solution-oriented person, right? When you have a new problem, that's a new solution. When you have a new solution, you improve yourself. You gain new skill sets. You gain new knowledge. You make your life better because you now have what it takes to solve that problem. So when I'm telling you, make your goal something that you don't know how to do, why do I say that? Because the first problem you have to then solve is your knowledge. And when you solve the problem of knowledge, you become more valuable to yourself, to your family, to your loved ones, and to the entire world around you because you've got better knowledge now, right? So I hope that helps. I hope that changes your viewpoint a little bit, guys. The retirement thing, it's the red herring. It's a distraction. Don't focus on retirement. Don't focus on retirement. Focus on responsibility instead. How can you make your life better? How can you make your loved ones' lives better? How can you make lives better in the world around you? And there's nothing to do with retirement on that. It's all about you becoming a better you, earning more income, saving more income, investing more, donating more, and that leads to that outcome regardless of what the goal is. Those are going to be some of the steps in the plan along the way. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. I want to thank you for watching my video. If you learned something from this, if it was value to you, what I'd like to do is I'd actually like to give you a free copy of my book, Blueprints Financial Freedom. This is perfect for those that are on my channel learning this stuff and you want to take it to the next level. So if you go to the link jerryfetta.com, just my first and last name, jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or click the link in the description, grab a free copy, we'll send it out to you. Can't wait to get you a copy in your hands.